I know now that my wife has become host to a Kandarian demon. I fear that the only way to stop those possessed by the spirits of the book is through the act of bodily dismemberment.
It's truly frightening.
This is
Because you're home.
oh man, I got this. Big one for me too, man. Yeah.
What's up, everyone? Happy Thursday. It's the start of the weekend. Thank you for starting it with us. Just sit tight with us shortly. We're here to talk to you. Once Rick gets here, we'll actually go into together. But, for now, JR, how you doing tonight, my brother? Because you just came from the movies, right?
Yeah, I just came from the movies. It was an interesting film. I tell you what though, I know we're not supposed to watch trailers and stuff, but I'm very excited for the fall when it comes to horror movies because there's a lot of good stuff coming out that I'm looking forward to. But yeah, this was an interesting movie. Not what I expected. Have some nail pulling things that I want to talk about. Is it really together or do you feel like you just want to rip it apart?
Well, and for me, I was looking forward to this one. And now that you mentioned about fall, that's actually what our end of the month live is going to be. We're down to the last it'll be the last 4 months of horror, basically, with Halloween coming up. There's a lot of good stuff. So I'm going to make sure to ask you guys, put a little list together of the movies that you guys are looking forward to that are going to be coming up, because that's what we'll be discussing on that one. And then obviously we got Weapons coming up next week, which I'm going tomorrow to go see that. I got my coworker who is going to start becoming, it's going to be fun. We're starting this whole little group of people going to the movies. I'm hopefully and because I had to move the thing over, Lexi has become one of them. So let's say hello real quick to everyone. And like I said, once Rick gets here, we'll start going into together. All right, P Rockzilla. I missed the movie, but we'll still listen in. I mean, we're gonna spoil it for you, obviously. That's what our show does. But if you're not going to see it in the theater, as soon as it becomes available, check it out. I mean, it's definitely. I'm not saying actually, I'm probably gonna see it a couple times just to notice a couple more things. But you definitely got to check it out. And then we got Queen Masura, seen some clips on TikTok. Looks crazy. That's a really, really, really good word that you can use to describe the movie. And of course, our fourth corner. Well, hello, my devilishly handsome. Right? Did I say that backwards? I have what do you call that? Dyslexia. I really want to see together very soon. So hi, I love you guys. And bye at work too. See y'all next Thursday. Oh, so she's going to be doing Weapons. All right. And then, of course, Adam M., my other half, the one that's cracking the whip. Hi, Adam. But yeah, so we'll be doing not just Weapons, but it's going to be another retro review, because we actually, it's one of the stuff that we like to do because it's mostly 80s and 70s, let's not lie. And this is going to be a little bit different. It's Lords of Illusions. So that's what it's going to be for, all right, I want to say, Jared, is it the 40th anniversary?
I think it is the
30th.
30th. Oh, 30.
Oh, thank God. I'm starting to feel really fucking old with all these movies.
I got to ask you a question, though. When you're sitting there in the theater, I mean, obviously you probably watched a couple trailers. But were you excited when you seen the whole thing about Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
I didn't get that trailer.
Really?
The only trailer we've been getting is the Jaws one.
Yeah, we got the one that it said basically, I think August 18th. For one day only, they're going to have Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
I'll have to see if my movie theater is going to have that. Because, I mean, I wouldn't mind. We're going to do Jaws. I don't know. I think, I don't know if I'll do it in IMAX. I'm definitely probably doing the 4DX, which the theater by me has. But, yeah, I definitely want to do that
I just hope it's a trend they keep doing, bringing back these old films. Like, imagine that they go and they're like, oh, we're going to do Nightmare on Elm Street back in the theater. I mean, bring back these old films. Put them in theaters now.
I mean, we lucked out. We saw the first one in the theater, but I wouldn't mind seeing it again in the theater.
Neither.
Well, and now that the other person's here, let me introduce him. Ricky, my brother, how you doing?
What up? I'm doing good, man. I had to just take care of a few things before we got started, but I'm here. All right.
And you ready to talk about Together?
Yes, sir.
Right, sorry. This movie was a little predictable in my opinion. I liked it, but Juan, I didn't want to eat. I don't want you
Neither
to
me
eat
nor I
me,
you.
nor I you. Yeah, no, we're good. When he's like, he was talking to a friend of ours and said, "Would you do it?" I go, "Hell no, bye. I'm going to China. I'll go to another side of the world to get away." But so with that, welcome. Now that we're all here, the Three Corners of Horror, we're going to be doing Michael Shanks' 2025 movie Together, starring real life husband and wife duo, Alison Brie as Millie and Dave Franco as Tim. And this is a movie that, it kind of takes a little twisted turn when Love's Drawl has on a couple and makes it already strong and codependent. All of a sudden, a supernatural force comes in and it takes control of their mind and basically almost their body. So, JR, it's fresh for you. So, spit
I
it
mean,
out.
all right. So as I'm sitting in the theater, I'm gonna just read the notes I was taking real quick because just to show you how I was. All right, so you know, why walk up? Why walk a path with the bells? I mean, who the fuck is gonna go into a path like that when you see bells? You
Thank
know,
you.
why did he dream those dreams? Especially, it was a little bit vague with some of the dreaming he was doing. Kind of wanted a little bit more history of the pit, which we got the church collapse thing, but it just seemed like it was like quickly said, and I wanted a little bit more in depth to it because, well, I'll let you guys talk about the whole Plato thing, but I think it was a little bit too vague and too like all right, just talk real quick. This is why it's happening. All right, let's move on. Um, that fucking hair scene though. I
That
mean,
was
I'm sorry,
Jennifer.
man. Somebody's gagging and shit while you're sleeping next to him. You're gonna wake up a lot quicker. I mean, I don't know. That part fucked me up. And I think the whole irony of the movie is the fact that at the beginning it didn't feel like they wanted to be together, and they were kind of like end up having to be together to save their lives. But at the same time, you know, um, if you're going through some emotional things, just let be forewarned that do not have sex in the bathroom in a school because we'll get arrested for that, and that's
Yeah, that's a given, especially as an adult with children around.
yes. Um, Kind of one thing I think it was as far as Adam said was a little predictable. The when she goes to see the teacher, the next door neighbor, and you see a photo of him and his partner. You kind of that for me that gave it away so quick to me. I'm just like, all right, this dude's in on it. This is gonna be a whole thing, And then like they had some cool scenes in this film. I think like the scene where she runs to the glass door was fucking pretty good. And then there was a scene when we've seen a lot of movies where they turn off the lights at the end of the hallway, and then you wait for whatever it is to come through, and the fact that we've seen that a little bit with the whole distortion going backwards. So when I saw, it, I was like, all right, that's cool, but I've seen it before. Um, and I be honest, man, I never knew you could really snort the hell out of Vicodin like that or whatever the fuck they were taking. Because, but like overall, this movie it has some good things about it. I do think there was like I'm a fan of ambiguity, but at times I feel like there was too much ambiguity in this film. And one of the things that I found a little bit annoying was because we get the you get the footage of the teacher when him and his husband merge, but then what confused me is like why is it that couple that are stuck in the pit are taking forever to merge when he was having sex with his girl, they merged quick. So that was like a little bit of a why is this couple taking long to merge? The married couple took quick to merge, but then at the end they merged pretty quick. And I'm telling you, Alison Brie and Franco merging together, that was not very attractive. Just the end of the fucking
The whole look.
eyebrows. But
Well,
overall, it's a. It may sound like I'm not going to movie. It is a fun movie to watch. One of the things I got a little worried about was it tried to go comedic, and I think when it went comedic, it kind of like it lost itself a little bit because you were like, all right, is this going to now turn into a comedy film? And then it kind of translated back to like, all right, let's be a little bit serious. But overall, the blood scenes were pretty cool in this film. Yeah, I like Franco. Alison Brie, I love her. I watched her in the show called The Community. Community, and she was freaking hysterical. If you ever watched The Community, it's good. You ever seen that, Joe?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, she
And
was
Glow.
great in it.
She was
Oh,
great
yeah.
in Glow.
But for me, I mean, there are a lot of good things about this film, but there's a lot I could nitpick on because I think the film had a massive amount of potential, and I think these little nitpicks kind of dragged it down a little bit.
All right. Want to hit up the comments before?
It's a couple, I think.
Oh, Adam
Hey.
saying
Oh,
hello.
yeah, talking to them. Well, I'm not gonna say what I've done in a school bathroom as
Shit.
an adult, Jr.
That's the one I was going to try to tell you. I was going to say edit. Make sure you don't read this. Shit, I missed it. Sorry. Adam.
The fuck y'all doing in the bathroom? Hola. Oh. The arm scene was brutal. Yeah. By the way, that was practical. Pretty cool.
Yeah, that's what I did love. I didn't know that. I did read that there was a lot of practical that was used in here. What? All right, Rick.
Yeah, as much as possible. Yeah, I think to answer JR's question about the bells, I thought the same thing, but until there was one quick line saying that the bells was kind of the trail, that's the marking of where they won't get lost. You follow the bells, right? Normally, I don't know. I don't go hiking. I'm not an outdoors person, but normally when there is official like hikes and they have markers for the trails, right? So I don't know why they would use those bells specifically, and no one questioned it. But that's what I thought about why the bells were there. But the film took a lot of chances. The concept is way out there. It's bonkers. Like of course I don't watch trailers. I knew nothing about this other than the title and the two actors that are in it. So I thought it was gonna be like a complete like gross body horror from start to end. I thought they were gonna fuse early, and the movie would progress with them getting more and more like intertwined. So it wasn't that. So that kind of threw me off. But it's not the film's fault. So it took me a while to kind of get into it. It's like, oh man, like this is not what I was expecting. It's a little slow, and Franco's character, I couldn't stand at first, but then he grew on me, But the movie deals with a lot of forms of like separation anxiety, a lot of mental health issues in this one for sure, because it's when it's grounded in reality. I mean, I suffer from panic attacks, not so much now, but before I was really bad. And whenever the character Tim would like have those attacks, it was so well done and the way it was handled, because that's what it really does feel like. Even to when he's slapping himself and punching his leg, and I almost caught a panic attack watching that. Like my anxiety levels were fucking off the fucking charts, man. I couldn't believe like how good they nailed that. And I think when he went to the doctor and the way the doctor explained it was the same way it was explained to me, which was funny. But yeah, they gave him Valium, which is weird.
It's called something else, and it's funny because I see that a lot on my...
I forgot. That is what it's called.
Name.
I have that. I had that bottle, so that's exactly what
I know I should know it, but I wasn't ready to throw out medication names. But yeah, when I saw that, I was just like, oh shit, I see so many people on my patient's medical charts.
Yeah. So I mean, with it, the narrative is definitely a codependency factor in here. It's an issue with the two characters. And JR mentioned the irony of the title, and that's exactly by design, because they had, like, you could tell Tim is not somehow, I don't know why he wouldn't be attracted to Alison Brie's character in that way, but he needed her. He felt like he couldn't be without her. So that's where this relationship takes a tumble, because one person is into this relationship and the other one is completely checked out. So when they get together and all this weird shit happens, they go into this cave, which I'm with JR too. The ambiguity, that's the one thing I would say. They did not, honestly, even, I hope you guys could explain it to me. I still don't know exactly what caught, was it the blood in the water? What? They never explained. And when JR mentioned the couple that was still fucked up and fused, why were they still stuck like that? Remember, they were missing for a long time. What's the time on that? How many weeks? A few weeks, I'm assuming, right?
Oh, yeah.
A few weeks.
Yeah.
Now, answer this, guys. These are a few weeks. Now, when did Millie tell Tim that her parents are coming over? What's the time frame? Was it that weekend?
I think it was a Friday.
Oh, so there you go. So
Sunday they were supposed to come.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So they
overnight.
overnight. Yeah,
Overnight,
pretty much.
yeah.
So that didn't make sense. And now, yeah, I don't know. I'll let you guys. Maybe Joe has an answer.
I
for
may,
that.
yeah,
But
I have a couple thoughts on that.
yeah, I just kept thinking about that, and when I keep thinking, I miss other things. Like I hate having to harp on things. Like, why was this couple so fucked up? But and it was a little confusing because I'll be honest, and this is on me, not the film, but when the androgynous character shows up at the end, I thought when their parents opened the door, it's gonna be some kind of horrific monster like Tim saw in the well. But when it was the androgynous, I'm like, oh, and it just ends. I'm like, oh god. Bro, just like the fuck last movie, The Damned, that sucked the air out of me, bro. I'm like, now I get it. Now I get it. Jamie was one guy. He was. So I was wondering, wait a minute, when she hit him and his face started getting all fucked up, I'm like, what's going on here? And they never went back to that character. So I'm like, what is happening? What's causing this? I want to know what's causing this. So with that aside, the aspects of body horror and self-doubt, I do like that combination of I know Joe, this movie has psychology all over, so again, I'll leave a lot of that stuff too, but I liked the comedy in it was good to me because it wasn't at the expense of anything else within the film. It was just the two characters, like Tim, whether it was the mildew, for example, I don't know anything about fucking mildew, little quips like that, or when she turns on the saw and it completely flips her over because she wasn't expecting how powerful it was going to be, and then but then the comedy stops. It doesn't linger. Yeah. So it worked. That aspect worked for me. I'm not big when they kind of shoehorn comedy into these films, but that it worked for me. But the final moments honestly didn't do it for me, man. That was the biggest issue I had with this movie, and there's more I will say about. I'll say it for later, but it's just man, maybe Joe will convince me more, but I would say this movie took a lot of chances, and I respect it for that. And Alison, Brie, and Franco were fucking awesome. I like you guys. I love Alison Brie and everything she's in, and real life married couple, so their chemistry is off the charts here. And the penis scene was actually I came in late. You mentioned Michael Shanks is the director, right?
Yeah.
Like that's his partner worked at a fucking VIP store. That was he grabbed that dildo. They added some fake prosthetic hairs for pubes and stuff on it. But again, one thing I will say too, I think this movie could have went even further. It didn't push the envelope enough for me. Because when they were stuck together, I think, oh shit, is this dick gonna fucking get ripped off, or they're gonna be stuck like this for the rest of the movie and they're gonna try and free. But they kept separating. I'm like, what's happening here? But then by the end of the film, it did all come together. But again, I still don't know what the fuck caused it. Because right when they started telling you what caused it, and she saw the video, they sliced their they sliced their arms. They're in the they're in the cave. They're in that pit, but you don't see what they do. It's stuff we saw already. So was it the water? Was it the cave? Was it the bells? I mean, no, it can't be the bells because that was just that was
a symbol.
Well,
and like GR said too, you found out when you saw the picture. I knew he was in on it once it came for that dinner scene. And this guy mentioned the cult and the way he laughed about it, and he said, "Oh, that was a church, a bunch of pagans or goofballs or whatever you called them." I said, "All right, there's not that many characters in this movie. This guy keeps showing up. He's part of this somehow. Somehow he's a part of this."
Real quick before you go, I'm sorry, Joe.
Yep. Good.
But the bells were actually decorations that led to the temple.
Yes.
So when you go back to see when they show them getting married. All the bells decorated the entrance to the temple, so that's why they were put there.
Oh, okay. So they're not markers. Gotcha.
They're not markers,
they're not markers. They were the entrance to the church.
So, but the character did think that.
Yeah.
Because he said it.
Yeah.
He's the one that said, "Oh, the markers lead this way." But yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
And the other thing where you said this movie fell short, and this is where kind of threw me off, is I felt like this movie, like you said, it could have went longer because that dream at the beginning.
I think it could have been shorter. This movie.
What that dream at the beginning, it almost felt like it was two movies that could have been. It could have been two paths in this movie, because you got the whole thing about like him dreaming about
his mother, right?
She's like, oh, could you tell him to to leave because I can't go to sleep when his wife's telling him that.
His mother.
And then they appear. You're like, all right, so and then the story that he told about the smell, it ruined that whole dream thing. I'm like, what the fuck? It's almost
by
like
the way
just thrown out there,
That happened to me once with the rat in the ceiling with the light, that is 1000% true. That happened to me when I lived, God, this was maybe 25 years ago, maybe more. In the bathroom, there was a bad smell. Good thing it wasn't like a big space, so we knew, all right, we plopped open the ceiling tile, and this fucking giant rat just splattered all over the fucking sink, bro. On the sink, the smell was so bad, bro. I couldn't go into that bathroom for, Jesus Christ, you don't understand how bad that shit smelled. But yeah, when I saw that, I'm like, damn, I could relate to, and I know what it smells like. So I was so like, I was squirming in my fucking seat, man, because I could smell it, and just the way he described it, where it's cooking, like, oh, jeez. But yeah, that was pretty cool.
Jared, were you done? I'm sorry. Oh, all right. All right. So, for me, I'm gonna say I love this movie, because when the trailers popped up, I left. I didn't do that. Put my head down, cover the ears. I just walked out and just figured out, wait, it's gonna be a couple more. So I did go in already knowing body horror, and so I'm like, okay, no expectations, just, and that's the whole thing. Those Substance. When I went into the Substance, I went in low expectations. When you have low expectations and they're superseded, it makes the movie even better. It is one I'm gonna have to watch a couple times for a lot of the little, like you said, the psychological nuances. Because trying to remember everything you guys said, but I do have some notes. So I'll go. So yes, the movie does show the complexity of codependencies in a relationship, and how individuals put aside their personal feelings and dreams at the expense of love. Even though one person would think of a better life, and that's what Tim wanted. When they met, Tim was an inspiring musician. It's now been years later. She's a teacher. He still hasn't gotten his chance. So, he's beaten down by it. She's been there to pick him up with all the rejection through the years, and everything. And then moving them away, though he fought it, he could have looked at it as a new opportunity. But it just, once they took him out of the city, out of their comfort zones with other friends, and now they had no other choice but each other, it just increased the codependency. All right, hold on.
But you would say, not that you're on that part, a lot of Tim's issues, definitely the childhood trauma, right? Seeing like his mother standing next to his fucking rotting corpse of a dad and shit.
But it was also like his parents were in the same type of relationship that he was in, where it's basically, you're so oblivious and you've sacrificed so much that the mom laid there next to the dead father and couldn't even smell that he was dead, but she needed to be with him.
But there was also, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, but there was also another plot hole in it, because when they're having a conversation, she told me, you've been different since, and then she didn't say that. So you didn't even know what incident changed them. She mentioned it briefly. She was going to mention it, and then she stopped.
Well, and
that's
you're
convenient, like, right? She stopped.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's all because you could have gotten an answer, but the movie is still trying to show you that this couple's very toxic codependency, to be quite honest with you. And then once they drank that water, and the supernatural force came in.
That's why you say that they crawled under each other's skin, Joe.
Yeah. And
which they never even said it was the water either. It's just
I
hate when movies.
Hold on, it's the water, because the two dogs.
Yeah, I know.
It's something
you're
in the water
too, though.
But what's in the
they
water?
were using it in the church.
But the counter to that was that when he was sleeping, he felt he heard something coming towards him and breathing hard and stuff. So he almost had these type of premonition type dreams of some shit, because he would hear something. And when the dogs were drinking the water, you heard like some kind of creature like noise. So that kind of threw you off too. So
that was so fun to think too.
Right, it's a supernatural force. It basically, hold on. So once they drank that, it elevated their emotions, their desires. You saw, because Tim hadn't wanted to have sex with Millie, and then finally wanted to have sex with her. And when he fucked her, they basically, I thought about, Stuck on You. I don't know if you guys remember that movie. I think it was the Farrelly brothers. but the force, it's I'm going with the water for right now until I read more and find
Well,
out.
it is the
But
water, but I want to
but
know
so
what is in the water is what I want to
right,
know.
so that nobody knew that. Somebody discovered that. These church people discovered it. That's what I'm saying. There's a lot. There's a lot of plot holes. I didn't go looking to try to solve this movie, to be honest with you. I started watching it. I fucking loved like they did the rental. I don't know if you guys seen that
Oh, I
one.
love the rental. That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. He directed that movie, Franco,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
So that yes, and they
That was
both
good.
love horror. They both, they're both. I think there's a
Yep.
she's doing she's gonna follow this up with a horror comedy that I want to say she wrote, and I forget who she's gonna work with, but she's gonna be directing the movie. Alison is gonna be doing that.
Nice.
Like they have a love for this. They have a passion. And what was great is that they love each other because you see them, when you see them in real life, they're always like, but to see their relationship be this toxic, like he needed to have her. But the thing is that the more he kept going to her, she kind of questioned it and would push him away. Again, the toxicity in the relationship itself. Once it got to the body horror, I loved it. I mean, it didn't have to go all crazy. I'm trying to remember everything. So what you guys with the couple in the cave, he pulled out a knife from the neck of one. So the couple were not soulmates. Soulmates, people who are meant to be together, merge, which is why Jamie, I think is the name of, is it Jamie?
Yeah, it was
Anybody got
Jamie.
right?
Yeah.
Which is why Jamie and his partner merge, which is why Tim and Millie merge. They too probably weren't soulmates. And when things were going on, one said, well, fuck, if I kill you, then maybe this will stop. So I think only one side was really kind of doing most of the walking because there was a knife stuck in his neck. And so whoever had the knife stuck in the neck, I'm just surmising they were dead.
The male had the knife.
Yeah, so he was dead, which is why they've been down there. Nobody's found them. They never successfully merged because they probably were a couple that were not meant to actually be together. I mean, it's
Yeah, I'll take that.
Said that, it's like I'm gonna take another sip because I feel like I'm getting smart right now.
That doesn't explain the dogs because they didn't fully merge.
Oh wait,
They didn't fully merge, right?
But they loved each other.
No, you don't know that. I
You
mean,
don't know that either.
right? But I know. But I'm going.
it's
with
conjecture, damn it.
the ideal of the temple is to put couples who are soulmates together.
Yeah.
That
That makes sense.
So
that
Jamie, that's why Jamie pushed Millie when he was talking to her, and when she's saying all this stuff, he's like, but is this your person? It's like one of those that,
she said
well,
yes.
if this is your person, then this is the stuff you have to deal with. This is part, like it all comes together. If it's, but I think JR may have said it unless I'm wrong, but like when they were being pulled together, like having to fight it, I actually love that. And if it wasn't them two doing that contorting, which probably not, I actually really enjoyed that. The humor for me, it actually did land. And I think was it the last time Rob was with us for a review, he had brought up about being in the theater and people laughing or joking. There was this fucking obnoxious couple in our theater. And I swear to fucking God, it was who can beat whose laugh. So as the more humor, it just kept, and I literally sat there and I'm like, wow, they are obnoxious. You heard there was a couple, so it was like 2 seats and there was another couple there. You heard the girl giggle after I said that. And not for nothing, I think when we were in one of our groups, they were commenting about the theater. The fucking guy in front of me must have had Tourette's because I'm watching. He's like,
I wish you were in my showing, Joe. Because when I went, there was nobody in there, right? Only one group of seats were available. And I was like, perfect. I'll be 1 out of 4 people. Because it was me, another girl by herself all in the corner, and then a group of 4 here, right below me. When I got in, there were a group of 4 women. I would say the oldest was like maybe 28. You know what I'm saying? Bro, they were so fucking. They weren't talking like discussing things, but they were kind of commenting on the movie and laughing and giggling, and they kept saying shh, shh, and someone just kept ignoring them. I'm like, god, it ruined the fucking movie for me because I'm trying to enjoy a serious moment and I hear them laughing and giggling, and this is
It
why
takes you out
this
of
is
the
why I
moment.
told you I love going to the theaters, but this is why I don't like going to the theaters. I'd rather watch it at home, because that shit just drives my fucking nerves. I know when
It
GR
does.
went to see it, GR said, "Oh, this fucking weird creepy guy
weirdo,
walks."
man.
So I'm thinking to myself, I hope that guy isn't as obnoxious as the crowd
Yeah.
I got.
It did. I want. Like, I
Kills me.
can't wait to see this again without having fucking
Yeah, it's just
heckle and
distractions,
jekyll.
bro. And then they were
know.
eating food, and the way the bags were rumbling, and the fucking bottles, you could hear the soda like shaking. And
Oh, I
the
thought the dude was
ice.
gonna kill me. I had a hard time opening my candy. I'm sitting like.
All right. I think Jared wasn't here when we were talking about that. Listen,
Oh,
all right.
shit.
When you get your fucking candy in a movie theater,
Open it before
open
you
it
go.
up
Oh,
during the
movie didn't start.
trailer.
That's when I opened it. That's what I was opening about. I thought
Oh, well then, no,
Is
he
it-
can't
no.
get mad.
No. But this dude
No,
looks
shit.
scary. I was like, yo, I don't want to set
Yo,
up the serial
I
killer,
stopped
man.
eating food because I don't eat popcorn, but I eat nachos. I stopped doing that shit because I would not wait for the trailers. I want to eat it during the movie. So movie starts, and at one time the movie got silent, and I was like, I took a bite. All you hear was a crunch throughout the entire fucking. I'm like, oh, this
That's
is.
why I ate the fries and the burgers, man.
Yeah, yo, one time I forgot what movie it was. I was like, JR is here. Oh shit, perfect. I sat next to because we had the same seats. Coincidence. This dude had a fucking meal. He had a
Meal,
fries,
man.
burgers, a big ass fucking drum.
Hell
Like,
yeah,
Jesus
fires,
Christ, where'd you
man.
get this food from, bro?
Listen, I love eating in the theater. I think it's part of the whole.
Yeah, you
Okay,
have
okay.
to.
Yeah,
still-
no,
still,
no. That's 1000%. I just don't. I don't know.
Well, and speaking, I don't not to promote them, but I got that cool Superman. That's a popcorn tub up there. When we went to actually see together, I ordered a large popcorn. I saw Superman. I'm like, well, I guess they must be using nicknames for like the size of popcorns. All of a sudden, that tin comes out, and I'm like,
They probably had a bunch left overs, and
that's
they
what I'm. That's what.
Did you
Adam
get a
said.
large? Is that what you ordered? A large?
Yeah, large. I always
Yeah,
get a
that's a
large.
large.
Because you know why?
Yeah.
Because it's only like 75 cents difference from a
Yeah,
man.
they force you to get those things.
Oh yeah, you're
See,
forced
that's
to
why
do
you
a
go to the other
large.
side and you, because the other side of Cinemark, they got the cooking station over there, so you can order like a big ass it's almost like a cookie. About this
Yeah,
big
the
and
big
shit. They got
cookie,
the hot
yeah.
dogs, burgers,
No, I
cheese
don't
fries.
know.
Yeah, I go over there and pick out, man.
See, I used to love going to the theaters that you could buy beer at almost any theater now. You could buy it at AMC's. But I used to do that until I noticed I had to take a piss every fucking time.
That
It's like, nah, I'd rather just not drink during a movie. I don't need to.
I get a slushy. It's easier.
All right. So, before I finish my thoughts, and we get right, go ahead and hit the comments real quick.
Did Ricky say penis? I did. Unfortunately, I'm used to that technique. I go in with low expectations anytime I watch anything Star Wars and Marvel. Damn Disney. God damn, and here I thought I can't get any worse than the Mexico water.
Oh yeah, no. Actually, we gotta find out what state this is in, so that way we don't drink the water from the caves.
Ooh, I know. They said it too. Yeah, Mexico water got me. Yeah, you.
Oh, yeah,
and
I
don't drink.
did
And
get
don't
'em.
and don't get water with ice, because
Nope.
ice is just gonna melt.
No.
So I just but how sweet, how much they loved each other.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. That's the other part. Like, especially in the sex scene when they're making out, I'm sitting there going, I feel like I'm kind of intruding on a couple right now.
That's all
'Cause
she
the
wants.
chemistry
She
is
just wanted to
there.
get laid.
No,
man.
I know, but the thing is, but
Poor girl.
the Allison and
I know,
James have such good chemistry that it came through in the movie itself.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's one of the things that helped the movie is their chemistry, because they have such great chemistry, but to see that these characters don't in real life don't have the chemistry that they have. As far as the body horror, I noticed some of the stuff was practical and obviously some CGI. I don't know
Camera
if you
tricks,
guys thought about this, but because I think Jared mentioned the eyes. So when you saw the eyes doing, I thought of Aeon Flux.
Oh yeah, good shout. Yeah, with
Like,
the
yeah,
fly.
when it was doing that, I'm like, oh, and it's because when
That's our thumbnail.
when we were the previous when we were coming up with the first thumbnail, that's what I was gonna send you, but I was like, oh man, I don't want to ruin a
Yeah,
scene in the movie.
Thank
for
you. You
that
would've
was
ruined
it.
Thank you.
Because
thank
then I'm
you.
like, oh, that's the cool I'm like, oh, don't send it. I'm like, so let me go for
Look how
something
great minds
general.
think alike. That was the thumbnail I picked eventually.
And I meant to tell you that I didn't. Thank God I didn't. That's the one I was gonna send you because it would have ruined that scene for you when it
Yeah.
happened. Because actually, and again, yeah, once you started getting the whole merging thing, I kind of, instead of it looking so shifty like it was obviously CGI, I would have,
Yeah,
they
that's when I
could
was
have
like, oh
intersected. Like what they
no.
could have done is gone practical. So like do
Yeah.
I don't, whatever, you guys are the filmmakers. The way I'm looking at it in my head is, you see a shot of them like merging and the screen goes black and then you come back black, like you, something like that where you can see them merging. Oddly enough, even though the one thing I took about the end though is that Tim was the poor victim here, because in the end, the androgynous looked more like Millie.
Except the
Like,
eyebrows, man. Them eyebrows.
well, because it got Dave's eyebrows, but it looked mostly like her. I'm like, so even when they merged together, the personality and Millie was the more
But
of
it had a
the,
male voice.
Yeah, it's the voice was
The
too over
voice
the
was,
top.
hey.
I did not like. See,
Yeah,
how come
yeah.
Jamie, when Jamie merged with his partner, he sounded like a normal person, but
well, because it was two men.
so no, it don't matter though. They could have, if they should have just stuck the voice to sound like an actual person, not like a,
Yeah.
not like it was meant to be like a joke, and that's what I didn't like.
Yeah.
Cause you could tell that was supposed to be funny because hey, how you
It
doing?
wasn't.
You know what I'm saying? Like, JR, how you doing, JR? Do it.
Hey. That was,
It
And I
sounds more
agree.
convincing, man. I hated that.
yeah.
Well,
I
the
By
way
the
that-
way, Joe, who, if you were to merge with Adam, whose features would be highlighted?
I think
Would it-
Adam be the dominant
it'll
role.
have-
I'll just have Joe's beard.
No.
Adam's face with Joe's beard
Joe's beard.
and his
No,
hair and the
no.
hair, but Adam's face.
Oh,
I'll be honest, the teacher with the glasses, I was like, oh, that reminds me of Adam a little bit.
The Jamie, that's a pretty
Yeah.
good actor. He played
Well, and
Charles
I've
Manson
seen-
like twice.
when I've seen him before, which is funny because another
Mindhunter.
I had seen him before. So when they showed his character, once you got the big reveal, it never dawned on me because I kept on going, something just doesn't look right about him. Like I've seen him in other stuff, but there's something not right about the face and I can't figure it out. So because they were already merged, this is why the actor, they changed his appearance some, which is why when all of a sudden I went, oh, and I looked it up, I'm like, that's why the guy looked different. You were already getting the merged version of the actor, but obviously they didn't do it so strong. It was so subtle, unless you knew who he was, that you wouldn't pick up on that. So I'm trying to, before, hold on.
What was that
Um,
quote? Plato. So Plato believes, or his philosophy
so,
is,
man, it was-
everyone is created with 2 arms, 2 legs, 1 head, and 2 faces.
No, it
essentially.
was that God created us with 2 arms and
No,
2
4
faces.
arms,
4
4
arms,
arms,
faces.
4 legs, 2
4
faces.
legs.
And basically,
1 head, 2 faces.
you know, he separated us because it's basically is you have to search for your soulmate, so you have to search for your other half in order
Yeah.
to be complete. So that's why, you know, instead of us having 4 arms and 2 heads, you know, we were
Wow.
basically
I like
yeah.
that. I like that.
It was a good
concept for
concept,
film. I
but
liked it a lot.
They
It's
just
Well,
needed
it's
to
like-
get
I
more
mean,
into it.
it's
I
like-
wanted more into it, you know, especially the
It takes
tempo.
from
It
Adam's
was more-
rib though, because remember that supposedly women were created from Adam's rib, which is, since that rib is taken from you, that is where you try to find your completed piece. I mean, it's all, but again, that's where the movie dealt in a lot of ambiguity. And actually thinking about it, even though they said Plato, when you look at it even as a Catholic way, in the way that these stories were told, that's like, you know, people were all conjoined and then we got separated, and now we're trying to find that other half. All right, well, let's go into our closing thoughts here and rate. JR,
Wait,
go
we got a
first.
comment here.
Oh.
Adam has another comment.
Oh no.
That the
Yeah.
stuck penis hurt me though. I think every male felt that one, bro.
Yeah, I just wonder if his
Oh, yeah.
when he went, did that shit have like, you know, whatever the hell was that, like, you know, possessed too? That's the only thing I kept thinking about. I was like, hold on, you know, if you're
Yeah,
about
yeah,
to
yeah.
emerge and then you bust, is that possessed too? Does that carry whatever's inside you? You know, but for me, like I said, it was an enjoyable movie. The ironic thing about this movie is I don't know if you guys know about it. I'm going to bring this up. I'm not trying to put darkness into the movie, but this movie is actually in the middle of a lawsuit because it said there's a guy who basically wrote a film called The Better Half, and it was basically a concept of people fused together, and that bathroom scene is in his story. So he actually sued, and I think this movie was supposed to come out a little earlier, but because this lawsuit was still pending, they decided we're gonna show it anyways.
Yeah,
So the
but how
lawsuit is
many
still pending.
Well,
how
and the
many
thing is, well,
movies?
no,
hold
and,
on, how, go.
right, and I think one of the things I had read though was that this person had also pitched this to Alison Brie.
Oh, okay, now see that's the
Yeah.
connection I was looking for.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the problem is that he had pitched it to.
Yeah, because I
And
was
then-
gonna say
and
how
then
many
they-
movies lift stuff from other movies.
And no,
But
it was
that's
and
different.
I mean, here's the thing, and but it's an
He
iffy thing
said
when it comes
Here's
to
the
that.
thing.
But
Yeah.
because
says
somebody
yeah.
gives you an idea, and the person could have pitched it, and you might not have agreed with how I want you,
Yeah.
or how this to go. Unfortunately, intellectual property isn't actually yours until you put it on paper and
Unfortunately,
get it all.
yeah, that guy's got no. He's got no chance.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard
Yeah.
because here's the thing. She could go and if it happened and it is, and actually you guys, especially you, JR, you're hopefully soon to be screenwriter, but this is one of those things that this is what happens when you talk to somebody and say, oh, I got this idea. Watch who you're talking to, because you don't know if this person's gonna.
That's when you have to do an NDA. So they have
I
to,
told
fill
you
out
that once
NDA.
because JR at
But it
one
could have been-
point
yeah.
was showing his book to a lot of people. Remember maternity,
Yeah,
maternal winter.
yeah. I had
I was
to
like,
do
JR,
sign an
man.
NDA on
You
this.
gotta
Yeah,
watch
don't-
that.
you better be careful.
Once you give your ideas, you don't know if somebody's gonna run with
No.
it, and if that is the situation, it's unfortunate.
But one
happens a
thing
lot
too
in
is it's going to be
the comic book
unfortunate if
industry.
let's say the person actually wins the lawsuit, then that's going to tarnish this movie a little bit.
It will, but what they'll say is, well, we'll go ahead and pay you, and then you'll get what's that called when you the end of stuff.
With
the money you get.
royalties.
There you go. I knew it started with an R.
No, but overall, I mean, like I said, this movie it's a fun watch. And there was a lot of stuff like because I'm not trying to nitpick. I mean, ambiguity is good in films, but I think this film could have used less ambiguity. Give more background of the church, give more background of that. Basically where the water is, the way
I would have loved that.
where you
Yeah.
had something that looked good. You had that scene where he hears that creature. He's dreaming, granted, but every time he breathed in, you see the walls moving.
that was
in and out,
cool.
like it was alive.
Sorry, Jared. That breathing in,
Yeah.
because Jared, like, I've been experiencing anxiety as of lately, also. Like that breathing in and the way when you're trying to control it, and then all of a sudden everything kind of disappears. And you can hear your own breathing is a very fucking fucked up thing to experience.
But the thing is, the visual they were showing is when he's breathing in, it made that cave look like it was alive. That's the thing. And then the fact
That's
that
exactly
you
what was going on.
you
JR.
didn't
Good
bank
shot
on
that.
it.
That was
You
cool.
didn't bank on it.
That
If you
was
would have
cool.
banked on it, I think it would have gave a deeper dive into this film.
Yeah, yeah.
And then like I said, you could use more background detail. I think they why the story of the Play-Doh and God thing was pretty cool. I think if they would have grounded it a little bit more, explained the background of that cult, because the whole time she's watching the video, he could have been behind her basically after turn around, explain the whole thing in deeper, give a little bit more of a flashback of how he discovered his cult. So. And I'll be honest, I thought he was trying to get lazy. I thought he wanted her anyways, but
That's what
it's
I
kinda
thought
weird.
at first.
Well, I know, and it's
And I
funny
was
because
thinking, I was like, hold on, could you merge with somebody else after that, even though you merged with the one that, is that cheating?
I thought
or
he was gonna do this. I thought he was gonna pull a fucking Total Recall and open up his shirt and his
The
fucking
face?
partner's face would be like, "Ah."
But,
See, that's what I was expecting. Like, all right, something truly spectacular has to happen, it didn't happen, which is fine. I do like the concept that he was merged with his husband. I like that. They made one person out of two. That's why.
even when Franco's on the floor, it looks like the baby's kicking him or something. Show a face, show something, give us a little bit. Because what got me upset with this film was that I like the way it began with that dream, and I'm saying they're like, wow, they could have did a whole different film just with that.
Wait, that was the very first
The very first dream he had when he's laying
when the movie starts.
when the movie
Like,
started.
starts.
because they got into the argument because she proposed to him, and he was
That's
like,
before. No, that's after the dog scene. Then you're saying.
That's after the dog scene, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because she proposed to him, and he was like sitting there like he didn't know what to say, and then he's apologizing in bed.
That was so awkward, man.
And then she
Jesus
turns around to go to
Christ.
sleep because she wanted to get some, and he was like, "Oh,
I
drank
wanted
too
to
much."
knock him for that.
So when she turns to the side, that that's when she started saying, "Oh, could you tell him to leave because I can't go to sleep?"
Yeah.
I thought that would have been a good like offshoot film. So I'm sitting there like, wow, I wonder if they would have went that route a little bit more, because there was lots of his character as far as like backstory, as far as anxiety, depression, everything, but it didn't feel like it was explained enough to make you sympathize with what he was going through. You just seen the physical reactions, but you didn't understand exactly psychologically what else was going on with him. Because when he told the story about the smell, looking at the woman, and she's like smiling, and the physical look of
well,
the
that was
people
his
were
mother,
cool.
though.
Yeah, but the way she looked was cool as
Yeah.
shit.
Why did she look like that? She
That they don't-
looked, she
It's
looked
just
like
well, that's something I think.
burnt or something.
I think some of it was like these are his nightmares. Like
That's how he sees it in his mind from when he was a child.
So you're
Gotcha,
like
gotcha.
yes. So like for me, like which
That happens, yeah.
yes, like with JR, like a little story and having discovered that as to why, because obviously this is a recurring dream with him, which is why part of the thing, like the water that they drank not just affects them physically, if also affects them in the head.
Yeah. They started
But-
getting on each other's nerves after that.
Yeah.
How did
but-
you like? I'm sorry, I thought you were done.
Well, no, no, I'm saying, but like the nightmare, those were his nightmares. Those were his nightmares of what codependency looks like. Where like basically he talked about the rat.
Codependency is a huge.
Well, no, but he
factor
said
in
you're
this
right.
film.
So
Yeah,
he talked about smelling the rat and how you can go along and not smell that something is dead, and then his mother laying next to a dead body that he also didn't know dad was dead. I mean, that's kind of a fucked up thing to
It
like
is a
hold
fucked up
on
thing,
to.
but they still, when they have the conversation where she mentions there was another incident that took place, but then they stopped there. It kind of, if they would have went a little bit more and exactly to understand what made him stop traveling with the band, because obviously they had a fallout, so there was more to the story that they
Was
didn't
her.
explain. No,
It
it
was
wasn't her. No,
No, it like,
wasn't her, because she let him do whatever she wanted. But there was an incident that happened for him personally that affected him, and after that incident, their relationship started taking a tumble. So it was something that happened with him.
The guy said he was like, I thought when you guys got together, you were gonna make my sister cool, but
Right,
in reality, like
you made her
she,
boring.
she
no, not her.
no.
He's saying in reality, she changed you.
yes.
So I took it the way Joe took it.
Yes,
Hmm.
basically what
He went on his own. He tried to, Gotcha.
Yes.
Sorry.
Well, no, because you're right, because that's like the brother was like, my sister's boring. My sister's is boring. She's Monica from Friends. Think of
I
Monica.
love when she said, I'm boring. I live a boring life. That's
Yeah.
me. Like, I love you.
So and then so the brother was hoping that Tim was gonna sit there and pull out the fun side, like, and what ended up happening was her, I just like to stay home, ended up basically just weighing him down.
But to counter
And
that,
changed him.
she told him, I let you do everything. You went out about, you did this. He was the one that started. It wasn't her. He's the one that. But there's still that there was an incident that happened that they're not talking about.
Right.
That's my main thing. If they would explain that incident a little bit more, because
it would
it was exactly after that incident that he changed towards her, because whatever that incident was, she wasn't getting any after that. So she was in this massive drought after whatever the hell that incident was.
Yeah,
That's
he
what I'm
lost
saying.
like his like.
Yeah,
What is
so
your
it would have
sex
been
drive or
more.
something?
Yeah,
What the
so
fuck?
as far as the codependency, I think it would have highlighted even more if we knew exactly what happened to make him act that way.
It is the unfortunate part of the movie
Yeah,
trying
they
to
left-
keep
yeah.
ambiguity
Yeah,
in there.
they
They
did
added-
too much ambiguity.
They added a lot of ambiguity
Yeah.
and a lot of exposition, but not enough. And the exposition they did give us wasn't really needed, and the exposition we really needed wasn't given to
Yeah.
us.
Well, yeah,
To me, the
because-
water shit. I'm sorry. I'm all for trying to figure things out myself,
Yes.
but there's nothing to figure out. There's nothing for me to piece together.
You
There's no
weren't giving
clues
any
or nothing.
information.
It's
There was
just
nothing
all
like
right.
that.
It's a cult. This is our special water. we got to bleed into it, and we drink it, right? I mean, I don't know.
You show the dog, so you never go back to it. Then the next time you hear anything about the dogs is the daughter drawing the picture with the dogs, which was
Bro,
you never went back to.
When
So
I
there
walked
was-
into this movie, it
I
was
thought
already
about
at
the thing. I was thinking the thing.
it was at the
this
dog
thing.
scene, and I'm like, oh god, what? Don't tell me this movie's gonna start like this. It's gonna
Animals.
They're killing animals already. Come on, man.
That's what I'm saying.
I was ready in a bad mood.
I think you could have did without that whole first portion of the film, the cold open, because
I liked it. Oh,
you
sorry.
never, yeah, but you could have still filled in the gaps afterwards, like when he goes, oh, there's a couple missing, because they didn't really show the couple at all. They just showed the dog.
Cut the dog scene out, right?
Yeah.
And you know how you go back to it, but without having to spend time. The kid in the classroom when he had the picture, oh, this is my dogs. This is what happened to him, or whatever.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then you see the drawing. Holy shit! Wait a minute, this happened before. So you could easily have cut out the beginning, and you know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna
that was
counter that, but that's
redundant.
okay.
No, you could have something. You could
I
have
said I'm gonna
something.
counter that, but that's okay.
No, you could have something. This is what.
It's nothing to counter. It's
These are
all
my
right.
dogs. Why are your dogs like that? No, this is what happens when you drink the water you're not supposed to. And then that gives you a little bit more of a, what you guys call it, the gun and shit.
Yeah, Chekhov's gun.
The
Check
reason
out
why
the-
I say that is because again, the water was never
Chekhov's, yeah.
explained.
It
So
wasn't.
why show it to us at the beginning
Yes.
if it's
I-
not gonna be
And
explained?
then you
Like,
don't go back to the dog.
all you need is when Tim drank it, and the way the camera. I love the way the camera flipped too,
Mhm.
and it had that ominous, like, and that the ambient sound. That's all I need to tell me. Ooh, that water's dangerous. I don't need the beginning for that.
No.
That there was enough. But you know,
Especially if you're not going to go back to it. What's the
it's not.
point
it
of
doesn't
showing
kill the
something-
movie though. Nothing
No, it
like
doesn't
that.
kill them, but
Nah,
why show
it's fine.
something that you're not going to go back to? And then when you go back to it, it almost was like, all right, okay, two dogs together. She didn't think none of it, So for me, I mean, the film's a 4. I think it has so much potential to be more, and I think that by the ambiguity and some of the plot holes, like another scene that kind of threw me off a little bit. So at the end, they're kind of like getting dragged towards each other, right? So the minute he takes out the knife and gives a speech, they stop. You figured it would still keep going because nothing's going to stop them.
Why did they stop?
Because he gave a speech on how he wanted to marry. He had a knife on his back, and for me, it just didn't make any sense. Why why they would just stop out of the blue and have a long conversation while she's basically bleeding to death. But for me, it's like, I mean, I'm nitpicking little things. It's just
There was something because he said, "I'm sorry to go back to that," but he did say, like, "Oh, it's fine. You can let go now."
Right.
because he wanted to kill
no,
himself.
he was going to kill himself.
But what stopped him?
But because Jamie slit her arm, so she was already bleeding out. So for him to stop the bleeding, he knew that when they came together, that things would fuse.
No, I got that, but
Right.
why?
So
They were coming together like a magnet, and
Mm-hmm.
and suddenly they stopped just to have that conversation. And now,
which
now
doesn't
they're no
make
longer
any
getting
sense
pulled.
because
it doesn't because
his
well,
question.
she was bleeding at that point. So
Yeah,
she
of
was
course,
dying
yeah.
out. So they had that little moment before she dies out, and then he put his hand on her and stopped her from dying out.
Joe,
That's-
if GR
that's
was
fine.
bleeding out like that, would you do what Tim did for GR? You guys could be one guy.
No, I'm good, man.
Imagine.
You guys
Can
look
you
like P-Rock
imagine us
actually.
two-
You look like P-Rock if that's the case.
Yeah, I would have had a
Imagine
gun.
us-
I would have had a gun before that, man. So we're getting dragged in. Just
Hey, damn! We could have.
Damn.
hey, man.
I'm all
see
like,
that name
you're
right
gonna
there?
be like
See it right there?
superpower. JR's like, I would have had a gun. All
I
right,
had a
JR.
gun, man. I'm like, all right, we good, man. Don't worry about this shit. I got a nice house for myself. No,
Another
but again,
Lopez.
A four is a good rating for
No,
us.
Forrest Gump, like I said, it's a
Potential.
we
potential
get
and-
upset when we watch movies that we don't expect to be good, but then when we watch them, they're good, but there was so much more, and you're wondering why exactly did you hold back?
and that's why we
Is
love
it something
movies.
as far as the writer? Was there an issue with the budget of the film? But if they would have cut the beginning portion, we could have had the story with the dog, because I would have had the little girl give me a little hint that this is what happens when you drink the water. And then that fucks her up, because then she'll go back to thinking, oh, is she talking about the water that was in the pit? So now it gets her mind all messed up. And it's just like these little things, and you wanted more. And I think by not having that more, kind of like you sit there, and I didn't like the ending either. I'm sorry, man. Hey,
Oh, thank you, GR.
I hated that shit, man.
Dude, when I left so mad, I was like,
Right.
God.
the couple of the people in front of me, like, are you fucking serious? That's what.
Yeah, it's funny because the few people in my theater too, even the obnoxious girls are all like, huh? Like,
Yeah.
what? That's it? It's over? Because everybody was expecting that a grotesque fucking. I'm like, oh, here it comes.
Wait, all
Here
right.
comes the money shot. Here comes the.
Before I go to going to the dogs were also two different breeds. So, because there were two different breeds, and they weren't each other's other
No,
half.
we understand
Which
that.
is no, I know, but I'm saying, but so showing the dogs in the beginning was kind of giving you a foreshadow that if you're not together, you're gonna become an abomination. That's like, and which is what happened to the other couple.
But
So
you still need that.
But the picture would have still accomplished that, in
yes,
my opinion.
yes.
I'm listen, I'm gonna agree with that. For me, I kind of in the beginning seeing that two things that should not be together form an abomination gave you the foresight of together or what happens.
But you know
after.
what it's for me? I'll be honest.
No, well, go ahead. Keep
That's my
going
turn. Yeah.
and-
It's not that it was bad. I just think you could have shaved off some of the running time because it wasn't needed. And second, I wouldn't already comparing this to the thing. That's the problem. Especially when the dogs are looking at each other and you know something ominous is happening, and then all of a sudden one of them starts barking and you hear that. That's straight from the thing. I know that must have been. They were like, "Oh, it's
an
full of homage."
It was
But
an homage. It was.
It's
an
not good to
intended
do
homage.
it at the very beginning because that's what I kept thinking. Oh my god. Like I don't watch trailers. I don't know anything. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, this movie's going to be like the thing, like but it wasn't at all.
No.
So that's all. I mean, it's not a terrible
and-
scene,
well-
but I just think you could have cut that and just used the scene with the child with his drawing, and that would have been even more powerful because again, after that kid showed the picture, that kid dropped out of the movie. So it wasn't important anyway, but that gives you the fact when she sees the picture, not just for her, but for the viewer, like, oh shit, this happened before.
But
And
real quick,
like add the
sorry.
water line, like GR said, and you're good.
I'm sorry, because you
No,
mentioned
you're good.
before I lose my train
You're
of
good,
thought.
you're good,
But at the same time too, think about this: if she would have seen the picture with the dogs, with the girl saying that, the time you cut in the beginning, you could actually have her go look. She's a teacher. That's her student. Let me go to this girl's house and see what the hell this dog looks like she's talking about.
Well, they shot it.
They shot it at the beginning.
they
But
shot
even
it. It was
then,
that-
she
it was
could have
that,
went.
yeah.
She could have still.
She
went
could
to
have talked to the
she
dad
coulda-
or something.
Yeah, he
right?
could have
Is that
talked
what
to
you're
the
saying?
dad to get a little bit
Yeah,
more background. of this stuff.
investigate why your
Yes,
child is.
yes.
Yeah, I get what you're
Okay,
saying.
well, what's up with this picture? But yeah, anyway, I'm gonna give it a 4 as well. I it may sound like I'm negative, but that's only because that's how much I love this movie.
You wanted more.
I wanted more.
Yeah.
It could have been cleaned up so much. It could have been cleaned up to the point where it's easy to fix it. You know, take out the beginning. And Jared said more with the jog, but I'm saying give us a little bit more explanation onto what causes this phenomenon. It's supernatural. It has to be. But what's causing it? We get it. It's the water. It's the cult. But how does the cult, what are they summoning fucking Mephisto and he's blessing the water and this is happening? I don't know. That's the problem. I kept thinking about that. Even to the very last frame of the film, like, they're not going to explain what the fuck they're not going to explain anything. I get it. It works in certain movies. But here, this was so fascinating that I really wanted to know. But I think overall, I love that they turned the psychology, especially the codependency,
Oof.
anxiety, the panic attack moments, you know, everything in here, the trauma that triggers all of this, you know, the childhood trauma, like how you connect certain smells to certain traumatic events in your life. I loved all that stuff. But the ending, bro. Oh god, dog. I just hate it with that fucking androgynous character shows up and that voice. If it talked like a regular person, let's say fuck it. Just have it be Alison Brie's voice, but use some kind of you know, come on, edit it. Use some Hollywood, just deepen it a little bit to make it sound normal, but it sounded like they're going for a joke, like, hey, you know, remember like just one of the guys when the girl chops off her hair and
Hey.
pretends to be a dude.
I love that movie.
No,
So,
I love
okay.
it.
I'll get what I say. I will.
No,
be mad at
no,
you
no,
if
no.
you're
There
about
is
to-
no bad talk about that movie around me. But what I'm saying is that movie did a better job of portraying a woman with the voice.
Yes.
It just felt like a joke. And again, you're watching a horror movie. You don't want to end it on a on a joke. You know what I'm saying? Especially not what these people went through. But it's okay. But the budget of this actually was $7 million, right? And it grossed about 14 million.
Oh,
So
yeah,
it's
that's
double the
great.
budget. But you gotta take it to effect. Neon, the company that acquired the rights, paid 17 million for it. The issue with a movie like this compared to, like, let's say a Marvel movie is, or for example, even better, Terrifier. You can't license this movie to like toy companies or nothing like that. This is how, like, let's say Damien Leone could have made nothing on Terrifier, but the marketing alone and the merchandising, he's fucking rich beyond belief now because of that. This movie, that's the problem when these studios buy it. They gotta buy low because once the movie's out, the only like a profit you're gonna be seeing is probably what DVD sales, Blu-ray sales, or whatever. Because there's no one's gonna be buying no. They ain't gonna make no action figures for this movie. So
They on streaming, you make money on streaming. That's part of the
Depends who picks it up. Yeah, once it
yeah.
picks it up.
Oh yeah.
Yo, you know what? That's a good shout. That's a good shout because
it is
Neon will be
once-
the one distributing that. So that makes sense. That makes sense.
And
yeah.
if wait,
That makes sense.
And
But
then
It'll be on
HBO
Pluto
this-
and shit.
no, I think this might be HBO Max. Where
no,
JR,
I'm
aren't-
gonna
JR, aren't
predict
you
it's gonna land on Shutter. That's what I'm predicting.
No,
It's
hold
a
on,
Neon
JR,
film.
Are you doing Last Night in Soho?
Yeah, that's coming on
Yeah,
next month.
It's
That
a
was on
Neon,
Shutter.
right?
Yeah, that was on Shutter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it was also on HBO
AMC,
Max,
Shutter.
which
Yeah,
is
yeah,
what I'm
of
saying.
course.
There's
No,
a
but
couple,
yeah,
there's
it's
a
not.
Like the
they don't-
main one that it's gonna drop on will be probably Max, and then you'll also see it on Shutter.
Um, it's funny because the soundtrack to this too. They had, they paid a pretty penny for the Spice Girls. Well, two
That was the
become
most
one.
expensive one.
And Happy Together by the Turtles.
Yeah,
of course.
well,
If they didn't
of
use
course I
that
used
song,
that
I don't know what we're
I
saying.
used
but-
that one, of course.
But yeah, that's all I got, man. My notes are complete, but I think overall though, I recommend this movie to anyone. I recommend this movie highly because
Yes.
everyone has their own experiences. I'm not gonna be like, I don't want my grievances to like deter from people to watch it. That's just me. My nitpicks. We all got our own. So I watch it. It's so fun. It's original, and the two leads are fucking great. I mean, they definitely carried the movie. Plus, they were the stars. There wasn't a big cast. It was 3 people primarily. All 3 did a really good job with it. And I just wish the character Jamie showed up again after she left.
Just giving more of
He-
the.
He was gone from the story.
He should open the door and be like, "Hey guys, come right in." And she's like, right there.
Well, before I go into let's go ahead and hit the couple comments there.
All right, hold on. I don't know where we left off, bro.
How
did he add him so much?
Selena
Selena.
finally saying hello. Hi, Selena.
Hello, Selena. Selena V, thank you for joining. Hello, my boys. Miss Frida Frets, how are you?
Mama Dukes.
the
Do not
patriarch.
call her that. It's Mama Dukes.
Yep. The fourth corner came back to say hi to Rick. Oh, hello. Since he wasn't here when I first jumped on. Hi, devilishly handsome Rick. Hello. Thank you, the fourth corner. You coming next week, right?
I think she's
I think
coming for weapons.
It sounds
Weapons.
like it's because she's coming for weapons.
Let us know, let
She
us
hasn't
know.
told me yet, but I guess
Just
next year
dropped
you
off
get
to
it for
see
the-
my handsome boys. All I need to see is my baby boy here too one day. Love you.
it's
He was
P-Rock.
supposed to be here, but we'll make it work. P-Rock will
Yeah.
join us soon. He will
P-Rock,
join us. And
figure
there
it
he
out.
is. And after credit scene. I don't know. I left.
No, it's
no,
funny.
no,
So wait,
no.
no, it's funny because before we went to the theater, Adam goes, "There are no after credit scenes." I'm like, "What?" Oh, I already looked it up.
Oh,
I
thank
just-
God. Yeah.
Oh
good.
yeah, no. I'm like, all right, cool, thank you. Oh wait, go ahead, go one more down.
Oh, this just popped in. Yes, coming for weapons to make. Oh, so make room, Joe. That's all, Joe. We
Yay,
got
alright.
you. We got you. Say no more.
So
Say
yes,
no
we're
more.
doing. I'm
Um,
going. I'm
If you're
actually doing-
here, before we wrap it up, drop us a comment. Let us know what you thought about this fascinating movie together. It's body horror, it's comedy, it's a love story, it's psychological, it's everything in between. I think it was well made. It's a well made movie.
Yeah.
So that's what I would say about it.
And
I
let
just
us
wish
know
it
if
was.
there's a drop of blood that's crawling your way. Would you stand there and wait, or would you run?
Oh yeah, good. What, Frida?
You
You
forgot
meant
an
to
E,
say your
Adam.
firstborn. Damn, he's making you sound old, Joe. Weapons
Hey.
looks good. All right.
Weapon- I can't.
I don't
wait.
know. All I know is and I'm so mad that I even saw this picture, bro. I just saw fucking our boy Joe. By the way,
Sang-Hwa.
he's coming soon to the channel.
Dude, yes.
But I just saw
Welcome to the
this
channel.
fucking
Yes,
Big
I
Trouble in Little
know.
China, fucking
Oh my
eyes bulging.
God.
I'm like,
Oh.
why are you showing these pictures? Stop it. Anyway, I don't
Yeah,
know
no.
shit about this movie. I can't fucking wait to see this.
can't
I will
wait.
say the only
can't
trailer, the only trailer I sat and watched was the first teaser trailer, and they went Blair Witch Project.
See, I didn't know that. Shut up. You said too much. All right, man.
But here's the thing.
Well,
here's the
no,
thing,
no,
though.
I didn't want to know.
I'm
See, I
saying-
didn't want to know that. Come on, man.
Well,
No, but
well,
this is the
hey,
thing,
I'm
though.
gonna bring it up, but
Yeah, John. No, but it's the same company that did Barbarians.
Yeah, it's
so,
Barbarian.
Barbarians trailer totally fooled you.
it did. And so, but the teaser, they didn't show anything. Actually, the teaser was it sounded like a report talking about these kids missing, and then all of a sudden you saw, which is shown in the poster, the way the kids run, and then that's it.
I haven't seen the
And you're
poster.
like, all right, well, not so. Like I said, the teaser trailer was awesome. It went Blair Witch Project, where you're like,
What's a kid narrating?
what the fuck? Yeah, and then you're like, why the fuck are these kids running this way?
There's kids in
Then
this movie?
when
So you
the-
guys are killing me, man. All right, let me get out of
Well,
here.
it's in the poster.
I don't
I'm
watch
sorry.
trailers.
All right. Well, no, I'm saying it's in the poster.
I
Like,
don't
I'm
look
like,
at posters. You
All
understand?
right.
When
all
I
right,
see anything for
got
this
you.
movie, I look away, man. I look away.
So
You're
when
gonna
they
have to
started
filter.
actually showing the trailers, I walked out.
Hey,
'cause
I'm
I
gonna
wanted
say
to
something
see
real
this for
quick though, real
myself.
quick. I know horror fans. I know I sound ridiculous right now, but trust me, you're doing yourself a disservice. And
You
there's
are.
people that don't care, which is fine. Like I know P-Rock don't care about spoilers. There's people I understand, but the people try it one time. Go into a film. Don't look at posters. Don't see who's in the movie. Don't read articles about it. Don't anything. You mute everything on social media. Don't watch trailers. Just go in fresh. It's the best experience. Like in this movie here,
It
once I
is.
went in and I was like, wait a minute, this isn't what I thought. So now I'm intrigued. Oh, okay, what we got here now?
Elevate your
So
movie.
you're involved. I did not see no trailer for Infinity War or Endgame. So all of those big moments that the trailers gave away, I saw for the first time on the fucking IMAX screen. Same with Fantastic Four and Superman. So do
I
it
feel
one
that-
time with one movie.
I feel you
Pick
just,
one
just
movie.
shot at me for not doing Fantastic Four at IMAX.
No, you did that
And
by
I'm just
mistake.
fucking with you. I'm
It was a
fucking with
mistake.
you.
Now,
I'm
you
just
know
fucking
now,
with
though.
on
You
that.
know now. And JR, YouTube. Always superhero
no.
movies are
I will
filmed
do
in
I will do an
IMAX.
IMAX. I will do it from now on.
Always
We got
go
a
for
year
IMAX.
for a superhero movie now.
Yeah, dude.
All
Alright,
right,
man.
so
Well,
as far as me, I actually came in on a 4. I'm actually going to give this a 4.5 because I felt the same thing you guys had said. However, because my expectations were so low, and when it comes to body horror, so far my top 3 body horrors. I'm a little buzzed. I apologize. My top 3 body horrors. Oh, and actually, no, Substance was last year. So now we have 2. My top 2 body horror movies for this year is Together and JR. What's the one that you recommended? The sister. What was
that
it?
menu? Oh, the
It's
ugly stepsister.
That was
Yeah,
That was
great
great,
body
by the
horror.
way.
Great
Did I give that a
movie.
5? What did I give that?
I
We
think
all gave
we
it a
all-
high rating.
That movie's fucking awesome, bro. That was
So
quite a
good.
surprise, bro.
Yes.
So I came in low expectations. I see all you guys as plot holes. But for me, sometimes if we said this before, when you get too much, it sometimes like changes your story. Waiting or wanting to know more is actually what you want, as opposed to knowing everything. Because interpretation only comes in when you don't get all your answers.
But you know
All
what's
of
good
us-
about that, Joe? Normally, you have something to work on. All right, let me watch the movie and let me piece it together myself. I'm like you. I prefer, show don't tell. You know what I'm saying? Like I want
Yeah.
it. Don't tell me. I want to see it in visuals and put it together myself. But this movie didn't. To me, I could be wrong though. I didn't catch any of that. That's all.
No,
But
and
I see what
I-
you're saying. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
But like that's what I said. Like for me, because P-Rock 100% agree. And I think Rick also agrees on this. I'm not sure if Jared does it, but low expectations is basically like the level you should go into a movie. Like if you go in expecting this movie to be this or expecting this, it then falls under your expectations were not met. So if you walk in with no expectations, I would have liked more. All right, so what the only thing that my only nitpick on this movie, I would have liked more of the body horror. I would have liked more of the two of them fighting what's happening and then accepting what's happening. That's where this movie kind of fell on me. It's still 4.5. It like the performances were awesome. You know, the only part that I fucking hate on the movie is the together part because it was just done CGI. It was computer. You know, when you're seeing the zzz, and I can't explain it. Is
I don't like
the
that.
way I
Yeah.
look at it is like when you're seeing the bodies blend. It's like you're in your head. You're hearing zzz, like you hear it. Like no, I want to see it. I want to see
Give me
the
some
couple
Bravo
fighting
teen
it
action, yo.
and
Some
then
Rick
going,
Baker. Come on.
we're gonna accept this and then become one. It was a great idea. It elevated the problems in the toxic relationships because I still feel, even though they became together, that Tim sacrificed. And he did because Millie was the one that got her arm cut. And then he put his hand on her.
Good
And
show.
he's still fucking
that's-
sacrificed.
That's important for the story. Yeah.
And he did. And even though they were supposed to be soulmates, and yes, the water part explaining a little more, but I'm kind of got okay with when I explained it. It's and I wouldn't even call it a cult. I would call it a group of people who believe that soulmates can blend into one. And this is love. This is what, you know, how love should be. This is also how love is toxic. And fucking Tim is sacrifice himself in this. He literally I'm gonna rewatch this and I'm gonna sit to the end on saying that Tim sacrificed himself on this, which is what he did.
Yeah.
When she woke up and she looked at him and his hand was on her because she was supposed to die.
Mhm.
She was supposed to be the sacrifice, and it was Tim who actually sacrificed because yet again he gave in on the fact that he gave up his dreams. His dreams were never realized. And when you know he's a musician, musicians, if you're in a relationship, you have to be single, but they weren't realized. So it's a fucked up love story. So they 4.5 for me. And before we head out of here, because just a real quick touch on this is that this movie dealt with love and horror, which is not something we get all the time. And I'm sure JR is going to agree with this, even though he's not looking at the screen right now. I'm just messing with you, JR.
Oh no, because I was
But-
reading a
oh,
comment.
no, no,
I like though.
But so JR is going to agree with this. Like this year introduced horror and romance together. And it started with Hard Eyes. It
Hold on,
did.
if we go, how much longer are we gonna go right now? Just so I can.
Actually, I do have to get another beer, so maybe another five.
I gotta be
five-
done.
Just to let you know, Alison Brie watches body horror.
Oh,
And
does
she
she?
actually commented during her interview. That's why I was looking at it real quick. 'Cause I remember watching this comment, and she goes, "I mean, there wasn't preparation for this movie, but I just kept wanting to talk about the ugly stepsister." So she watched the ugly stepsister. That's one of her
Oh, did
favorite
she?
body horror. Yes, that's one of her favorite body horror films.
Hold on, I'm sending Adam a text so I can get. I don't want to jump out on you and then leave you here alone, going, "Hi everyone, I got left alone."
Yeah, Brie
I'm
also
texting-
expressed her excitement about the film's body horror elements. She noted how it drew parallels to scenes in her own movie together, saying that, "Oh, we're in ugly stepsister lane now. Beautiful. I'm so on board." When she was reading the script for the,
And
for
I did,
together.
and listen, like, I think they could have gone gross, but
They
then
didn't
if you
have
go,
to.
if you go gross, you then are now changing. For me, the whole entire movie just reeked of codependency and the negative part of codependency.
No, you didn't have to go gross. I think with body horror, you don't have to go gross because not for nothing. Like,
Adam, hey, wait, hold on. I just texted you. Can you get me a beer? I know you can go to bed. I know we're live. Sorry, people. No, just get the beer out of the refrigerator. Just grab it. Just grab two and my shot.
Okay, nobody heard you.
They can hear that. It's okay.
yeah. No, but like I was saying, like you don't. I didn't think you have to go gross, but I think
No,
that's why we like the ugly stepsister because it wasn't gross. It was more the shock value of what they were she was doing to herself in order to basically make sure that
right.
she was in love with the prince, that the prince was in love with her, and she could get married to Prince. But I don't like you guys are more body horror than I am. You know, but I
It's
feel
not your
like
thing. It's not your thing.
yeah, but I feel like if you go extreme gore, you're taking a
You
while you're
it,
doing
then
body horror, you're taking away from what you're trying to show,
you take away
which
your
yeah,
grounding from your
which
movie.
you don't want to do.
And like that's like I just honestly when they finally both because again Tim sat there. Hold on, sorry. Apologize, people. But Tim sat there and saved her.
Mhm.
Mind you, all this time through the movie, the hints we got, it's been her. This is his opportunity to show her that I love you.
See,
You know,
I think I
but
would have done it a little differently though.
the merging, hold on. The merging, I would have liked the merging to actually, instead of being that CGI, to actually show, make it go. This is where you could have gone grotesque, and then end result being the androgynous one, because it's both bodies fighting this evolution, and then giving in, which is
See,
what I. Go ahead.
I think what they should have did was this: that speech he gave where he went down on his one knee. You could have saved that for later, because while she's there, basically bleeding out, he could have grabbed her, basically begged her for no, and then next thing you have is her waking up, not seeing him carry her inside, but having her wake up on the couch with her color back, him holding the wound, and then basically explaining why he chose to do that without having to get up and get naked and just do that. So it would have been a process where they're sitting on the couch together, and he's basically going through everything he's done wrong about how much she means
Yeah.
to him,
Oh, dude.
that he's willing to do it, and then take their time. And then to make it even funnier,
Wait, you
what-
could have wait what I said to you before, where you get them talking and the screen goes black. What you just said, they can talk, screen goes black. When it
I
comes
wouldn't have
back,
gone black
but-
though.
oh well, the thing is,
I
they
would've
keep coming back, or some in a way, as the more they accept the situation, when you cut away, you see this, it cuts away and it comes back, and you see the merge slowly start happening. Like
I would have did
accepting
it
each other.
where he's sitting on the couch, and then you see her like, and they're having a conversation. So you're doing basically up close shots, or you're doing over the shoulder shots. You're not showing the merging yet. So basically, you're showing them have this conversation of why he thinks they should do this, without actually showing that it's already happening.
But it was her though.
No, it was he made that decision.
He did.
Yeah, but I'm saying that because he's that's what I'm saying. Remove the whole scene where he got on his knees and basically expressed how much he needs her.
I guess you're saying.
Do it on the couch where they're sitting there, and all you showing them is them having a conversation, and then you cut to a front view of them, and the merge is already happening, and then have it there where they're talking, and then they're both agreeing with it without having to get up and get naked. Because what was the whole point of they weren't having sex, they were just merging. So what's the whole point of showing that when you could have had them just sit there, express why they're doing it, show the slow transformation, and to make matters even better, have Jamie come in, goes, I knew you guys were meant to be together,
And walk up through it.
No, and then just have them sit there
Well,
and watching, and
No,
then you
that's
have
not-
the
wait.
transformation. Yeah,
Because like for me, I would have liked to seen the merge happen. Would you still have some resistance? The resistance would have come from Tim. If you look at the way the relationship, it would have come from Tim, and then Jamie come in and then talk him through it.
no,
Like,
that would have been too
becoming
much
one-
though. That would have been too much. You kind of want them just them two hashing this out. Why is this the best thing for them, and how he
But
really
Tim,
wants. This.
I know, but Tim literally
It was, but it was
sacrifice.
But it was his
Him-
decision to do that.
I
It
know,
was
but
his choice. But
it's-
that's why it's been better if they would just
Oh my
sitting on the
God.
couch.
This is
Yeah.
why I love this movie, but the thing is, what nobody realizes is that Tim's sacrifice for this, like it was he didn't want her to die. He allowed the merge to happen, and he'd actually been fighting the merge. The anxiety, everything that's been going on, is him still fighting this, and then basically finally just giving in and saying, "All right, well, this is what it's going to be." I, we did divert for a point. Sorry, we did divert because I was gonna because I started saying, "Well, no, he'll come back in," but with I like you said, not Starry Eyes, shit, Hard Eyes. Hard Eyes started the newest trend, which is romance and horror. I mean, it's not something you normally get, and when you do get it, it's like the girl end up meeting the killer. You know, like as far as romance, and you're a writer, romance horror, like I did like the fact that the story did show you the complexities of a codependent relationship where people just give in to certain situations. All the movies don't have to be that way. But would you like more romance in your horror?
If it's done right. I mean, I think Hard Eyes started the whole trend because Hard Eyes did the comedy romance and then they threw the horror element into it.
Which with this
So
one followed that one.
yeah,
There you
and
go.
and I like when you do that. The way I always see it is, and this is how this is how I look at my horror films. This is why I like slow burns and stuff like this. It's because if you could take out the horror elements of a film and still have a film standing by itself and it's a good film,
Amen.
that is a perfect film.
Amen.
That's why when I always look at slow burns, I always look at that. If you could take the horror elements out, it's just still a good film.
Yep.
And I would say over the last year and a half, a lot of the movies we've been watching have been technically slow burns because now horror is starting to go into more storyline based, more focused on the characters, more focused on
Instead of
you
the
know,
gore and
instead of the gore.
splash
You
and
you don't
and
need. I mean, there's a market for the gore, but the movies that we've been liking lately have been ones that we're going to show you about these characters, the flaws of these characters, the good things about these characters, make you care for the characters or root against the characters. But then we're going to put the horror elements into it, not forcefully, but into the point where you're going to enjoy this movie now because now you have these two characters. I think the last couple of films have been two characters. So we've been talking ugly stepsister, the two sisters.
yeah.
The whole time we were fooled which one we thought was Cinderella, and honestly we were wrong. But it's just like they're more focused on the characters, which is making the horror films a lot better. And a lot of the ones we've been watching, we've liked a lot because of the storylines. If the storylines are not there, it doesn't feel the same anymore.
Which helped together though. Together did have a good storyline.
They had the storyline. You could take away the whole element of that, and it could have been basically
you would have seen you would have seen the perils and basically the horror of a relationship. Guys, we're not saying relationships are bad.
No, I understand. Like I think what this relationship was trying to explain is majority of the relationships that last a long time is one half always takes a step back for the other their partner to basically try to achieve their dreams. And once that person achieves their dreams, then they take a step back. All right, it's your turn now. So it's always going back and forth, taking turns.
Yeah.
What happened in this film was when
she always covered for him
because he wanted to have this dream of being a rock star and for 10 years, actually since teenager. So you could say almost 20 years almost because he was 35. Basically, I think in this film they put him. So for like almost 20 plus years, and she said it, I don't know anything but him. That's all I know but him. So for that whole time, she's basically going through her emotions, going to school, getting her degree while he's basically trying to live this dream. That's what I'm saying is that I think if they would have had that element exactly what happened.
Once you said that, I never looked at that in the movie. Yeah. Like you should have seen basically the bricks of why this relationship never came together. And instead of getting the dog part, you could have gotten some stuff like flashbacks of the relationship. the only reason I bring the dog part up is I felt the dog part just kind of set up the fact that if you're not meant to be together, you're not going to merge perfectly, which is what the movie's supposed to be about.
Because for me, the movie could have started with the scene where she proposed to him, like a 2 minutes prior to that.
That was awkward.
Yeah, because you started right
So
there. So now
awkward.
you're starting in an awkward moment where you can see this couple struggling. So right there, you would have had the impact of the couple. So they could have said they're going somewhere, they're moving away, right? So at that point, you could have cut into like the place they're moving, give the backstory of the couple that's missing. Like I still think you didn't have to show the dog, but if you could basically give a little hints, this is the place they're going to, and then come back to them getting there. I think you would have had because now you would have started the movie right off the bat with that gut punch. Like, what the fuck is wrong with this couple?
Well,
And
I think the dog part was just kind of more meant to be. So
Joe
you know,
got that
dog,
long dong silver.
but dogs are not like us. Dogs are not like humans. So it just kind of showed that two different breeds couldn't blend together and then become this horrific amalgamation. Did I say it right?
An amalgamation. Yes, you did.
I said it right. Yes.
Yep.
All right. But that like it was that I kind of feel the dog scene was kind of what's the word
Damn,
I'm
you know where they messed up at too while you're thinking about it?
it's basically trying to show, I know. Well, no, it's basically trying to show you. It's trying to show you that two things cannot merge. So that and because they use dogs and the way it was done, I think it tried to in the beginning just showed you that two different breeds could not merge. You couldn't get this together.
Hey, I'll combat that with this one. They could have just easily conveyed that same information with the couple that they found in the
Well,
And
here's
then, you're
another-
right. You're
Okay.
right. Which is why my argument was about
So
that
it's
one
it's
stabbed her.
redundant, you know.
But here's
It
another
is.
mistake.
I get what
too,
you
though.
mean, though. I understand.
Here's another mistake. So they fall into the cave, right? So that couple was there already.
Yeah, they made no noise right
And then
during
if
that
they-
time.
oh my god! Oh my god!
How big was that place?
They
Damn
are.
it, man.
They are. You just fucked my head up.
I thought about that. I was like, wait a minute.
I never thought about
What the
that.
fuck?
Jared.
And you know they searched that place the first time looking
Yeah.
for wood and shit.
Oh my god, JR. Mind blown. All right, before we log out, Rick, the conversation we were having before you left off was that horror is trying to infuse a little romance in there. Like, are you down for like the romance? Like, because Hard Eyes started it. Hard
You
Eyes
still
is
haven't
for
seen it,
this
Oh,
right?
year.
I hate Hard Eyes, man.
Yeah.
You hated Hard Eyes?
Did not like. I didn't like that. You know what it is? I don't like. It
The
was
comedy
too,
didn't land on you.
too much
didn't it?
comedy, too much lovey
didn't land
dovey.
it.
I'm not a fan of that actor from Scream. That guy's he
All right, so
killed
that
that
kinda
movie.
killed
for
me,
me,
too.
bro.
All right,
That
so,
dude's corny, man.
so
I
you
don't
got
like that
so
guy.
you got with Hard Eyes, you got that, but with this movie, you got like relationship. So like as far as romance and horror together, because I'm gonna go.
Well, this
right
one was
now.
done well as far as fusing like because the romance, you know what it was? Hard Eyes the romance and the love, it felt forced, generic, and they tried to be funny, which it wasn't. This one felt natural, organic. It
That
added
would be
an
a better-
organic, grounded element to a horror film. You know,
I did love Hard Eyes, though.
juxtaposed
I did love
to
Hard
the
Eyes.
body horror. I'm surprised. Why'd you like? Why, Joe? All right,
I-
I'm not saying
All
it's
right,
not a
all right.
terrible
Oh, he
film.
goes. He
but
goes.
I'm
Why,
curious.
Joe? He
Why,
goes.
Joe?
Why, Joe?
No, because I
No,
I
all right.
no.
All right, here's why. Here's why.
Yeah, that's I didn't that did single you out. I didn't
it's
mean
fine,
it like
it's fine.
that. Though. I
No,
didn't-
it's fine. It's fine. Here's the thing: is that Hard Eyes? Once you realize it was kind of corny, your mindset goes differently. So then you
Who was
realize
the
that
killer?
even
I didn't forget who the killer was. I'm sorry.
but you also even realize that the romance itself is a comedy.
But I don't
Yeah.
mind that. It's just I don't like the chemistry wasn't there, and the actor don't do it for me.
I think
man.
the
I just-
actor. If
Oh,
it was a
that's
different
amazing.
actor, you
Dude,
would probably like.
I don't-
that's the most stabbed guy on the in the Scream
yes, and that's
series.
why it's not even
So-
before that. I just think he's just.
So if it was a different actor, it could have been. You probably.
Mine-
would like-
If the
might-
two
may
leads
have
in
been.
Hard Eyes had better chemistry and not obnoxious. I
Not
just
forced.
even in
Forced.
Scream, I
Forced
didn't
is a
like that
great word.
actor.
Forced
He's just
is a great word
corny. He
because
tries to
even
be
I will-
funny and he's not funny. He tries to be like a quirky character, right? Or one of those
Did you like The
quirky
Killer,
character
though?
actors. Huh?
Did you like the killer though?
Who was the killer? I didn't forget who he
It was three
bro.
people.
3 people.
Oh,
They up the ante on the scream
And
That-
they put that like the strongest guy was like the dumbest guy, so he was the one
Yeah.
doing most of
no,
everything.
it's not bad. That wasn't bad. I remember that. Yeah, but it's just the two. If I don't like the two main characters,
I-
that's it. That's it.
And I will
can't
will
get
say
into it.
with
And I
hard
didn't
eyes
like them.
with hard eyes, I actually only because Mason Gooding Jr.
We love
with how
Yeah, yeah,
many
go ahead,
times
go ahead,
he's
sorry.
been fucking stabbed through the Scream series.
Oh,
It's like you almost like the character is different.
by the
I
way,
did like the female lead.
I did. I like
who was that? Who was the actress?
yeah, I did
No,
like
it's
her.
fine. It's not that important. Listen, it's
There-
when I
no,
say the characters had no chemistry, it takes
It
two
was
to
forced.
tango.
It was forced.
No, yeah, it was.
So
The-
I'm not
the
saying she
movie
was a
was-
bad actress. I'm
No,
just
no,
saying
no.
their on-screen chemistry wasn't working for me.
And they
That's
were.
all.
And the thing is the way that everything was written and the interaction.
Yeah.
The thing is, the movie was easily telegraphed.
By the way, Alison
What?
Brie, to tie it back to Together, she recently said that she would have killed the core 4, kept Dewey, and killed the core 4. Maybe not all of them, but
By the way, I love Alison Brie.
I was like,
I
thank
love-
God, she thinks how I think. She's
All right,
awesome.
So
I fucking love her, bro.
I love Alison Brie's character in Scream 4. Like I love
She
her
wasn't in
death.
Scream 4, bro.
Yes, she was.
Alison Brie?
She was Nev Campbell's publicist.
Damn, I didn't know that.
Fucking look that shit up and prove me wrong.
How she
But I will
died?
tell you right now. She got thrown off the top of the roof.
Oh
and
wait,
landed on
Scream
the fucking-
4 you're talking about.
Yes.
Oh, you're
yes.
going back. Which one is that? That's not the one that had Emma
With,
Roberts as a
Emma,
killer,
Emma
was it?
Roberts. Yes.
Oh, okay, I saw the movie once.
Alison
All right.
Brie was Nev Campbell's or Sydney's book. What do you call those
Publicist?
people? Yes.
I didn't know that.
So when
listen,
she
I saw
she
that movie
goes
once. I was like, I'm good, man.
Yeah,
I
she
didn't
goes
like
into
that movie
elevator.
either.
She's like in the elevator. She's trying to find her car.
This-
Like,
hold
dude,
on.
her death was fucking awesome.
P-Rockzilla. So, do you guys think with these recent horror movie releases that were not remakes, has horror films in a good direction or still needs work?
No, it's in a good direction. Actually.
Go ahead, Joe. I'll let you answer that 1st
I'm gonna say it's in a good direction, because the thing is, you're actually, I kind of feel in some way we're getting a little bit more broader eyes.
We're going
on
more
horror.
original now. Yeah.
Yeah,
Less
and
remakes and sequels,
originality
right?
has been lost. Everybody's been remaking everything, and when you want to remake something, you either have to make your movie better than the original one, or your remake is going to suffer from the fact that you were not that as good.
Yeah.
So yes, no, I listen. I love I'm right now. The one I am keeping on is Osgood Perkins. I mean, the guy's got like a Stephen King mentality. So I love the new eyes on
Real
horror.
quick,
I
so
love the new directions.
obviously, you're a fan of Long Legs, right? If I recall correctly, right?
So I love Long
that's-
Legs. I love Long Legs until Nicolas Cage had to go Nicolas Cage in the movie.
And
Honestly,
how did you
if-
like Monkey? The second.
I
film?
like the monkey, and I told you guys that with the monkey, the only thing I felt that it went with the Final Destination. However, I still liked it. I mean, he's got a good eye. Like I want horror to freshen up, and there's some of the new people are so grounded in the past horror that they can actually freshen up horror.
You're right, because even though it's heavily fucking maligned and with good reason, but Skinamarink, at least the guys tried something different. It's not my cup of tea. It ain't my bag. I tried to watch that movie like 5 times and I fell asleep every
We
single
reviewed it. We reviewed it.
I know.
And I gave it a high score.
Yes,
and
yes,
that's a
but-
movie you have to like watch like
But
5 times.
That's what
because
I
you
mean,
fall
though.
asleep.
Regardless of what I think about it, I am very appreciative that it actually exists to begin with, because it gives people a chance do something different. Joe, JR, how about you? How do you answer that? Do you think today's horror, with being more original, you think it's in a good place?
I'm tired of remakes. I'm tired of reboots.
Yeah.
I don't want, and not for nothing. A lot of the films that we've talked about this channel. Think about it. The last two, we talked about The Den last week. That movie was good.
Yeah,
It was
it's a
an
good movie.
international film. It was good.
Oh, international.
It was-
They
it was-
rarely miss.
It was
yeah.
folklore. That the other international film, The Ugly Stepsister. I mean, I don't know how many times we
Yeah.
talked about that film and how much we appreciate it.
I fucking love that movie.
Yeah,
man.
Hey, I know. JR's like, let's add the Ugly Stepsister.
Go find GR by the
Me
way.
and Rick
That-
were
that
like,
was a good
oh
find.
no, it's called.
No, with the
Ugly
name, you're like, then you
I
find
know,
out
but
it's
that's
a
what I'm saying.
remake.
We're like,
it's
we're
a
like,
generic.
oh, no,
Generic
with the
title.
name, and then we're looked at, we're like, oh god, it's gonna be a long slow burn, and
What-
it turned out.
No,
but
that
that's the
movie's
great
fucking
surprise
awesome.
of these movies.
Because what you're getting now, you're finally getting creativity in horror. You're getting good scripts. You're getting good. I'm gonna keep harping on it. You're getting good storylines.
Yeah,
Storylines is drawing horror right now. It's the driving force behind horror right now. We were used to last year. We had good horror movies. We had a lot of slashers that, I mean, was in a violent nature. We were so excited for. We watched it like, what the.
and we were
Again,
not-
at
yeah.
least it's
It
an
was
original.
It was
take.
original,
Whether you like it or you don't.
right?
Substance is
something
still my
fresh.
best for last year.
No, and it's just like we have fresh
No, a lot,
films.
certain, a lot of people don't like that movie though, Joe. Unfortunately,
It's okay.
they
I
think
just
it's
slipped
one of
that
the
in
worst
there.
movies that's overrated. I love it. You know,
No,
I know.
but
I'm
it's-
just
They're
egging it
fools.
on.
They're fools. I mean,
You-
if you
yeah.
think that the substance was not entertaining, if it was not fun, if it did not capture the body horror and the absurdity of
Who says
Hollywood,
that? What? Who
then
would say
you're
that
a
movie did not
fool.
capture the body horror? Who the
oh, I know we're not gonna do
Oh,
that.
and come on, at least that's just the best tapeworm scene ever in a movie.
Oh my god!
So,
All right,
Bro.
stop though, movies that fuck me up. Stop.
no, but overall, yeah, I like the direction it's going now. I like the creativity is going on. Every time you see
Yeah.
a film, you're going in with it's something fresh, something different.
Oh,
Even
let
if
me
it
ask
reminds
you
you of
something when you're
something,
done.
yeah, even if it reminds you a little bit of something, it's still done in a way that you appreciate what they're doing. And I think a lot of and the thing is too is a lot of these independent filmmakers are finally getting their shot.
A lot of young
Indie
directors and
filmmakers
writers. yo.
right now are going to be basically if Hollywood wants to come back now, start hiring these independent filmmakers who have a fresh mind, who know what they want to do, and have the freedom to do it without being chained by the studios.
I will
Stick
say
to-
this too. A
well,
lot
hold
of
on, stick to your guns, because all these new ones have realized what happened with the Blair Witch Project and how
Oh,
a
the
lot
Joe
of people
slurring.
got
Oh,
fucked on
no.
that.
Yeah,
oh no,
just
Stop.
you
But
know what you
the-
did, bro.
I saw. But the new filmmakers like realize what happened with the Blair Witch Project and solidify your shit. Like don't let anybody take control of your stuff, your property, and make money off of you.
no,
Because like I said, you guys are feature filmmakers. So
The
I'm
driving
only
force-
saying that
Well,
for that
right
reason.
now, man. I ain't a
and
future
Rachel
nothing.
agree with this. The person that basically made filmmakers feel indie filmmakers feel over like they have all the power is Damien Leone. He started something,
Yeah, he did.
and it's
And
really
he does
starting to
not. He
catch-
does not bend.
He
No.
turned down every major studio that wanted Terrifier. He was like, nope. And look at him now. Look at he's making more money off of his merchandising deals because that money all goes to him.
Yeah.
It ain't going to no studio. Everything was self-financed by him for the most part. He did his own effects. He got his own team. It's brilliant. I'm sure he's got other, backers, obviously, that he throws some cream to.
Yeah.
I mean, he does interview all, he got this. I forgot the spot. What's that? I forgot the name of the crew.
I'm sure he got all the people that came up.
But they're all
with him.
independent. They're all. It's no
Yeah.
major studios like just sucking
Holding
the
you
fucking life
down,
out of you.
holding you
bro,
down.
yeah.
Mm.
And a lot
So-
of thing too. A lot of movies that are good now. If you think about it, a lot of these directors that are young and coming in, they come from comedy, bro.
Mhm.
Because comedy directors, they don't get enough credit. It
No.
takes really good timing for a good comedy film. It's all about timing, and they
And
bring
Together
those
had that.
skills to horror. Look at how well Jordan Peele adapted from comedy skits to the horror genre. The
And we're
guy's
doing
done
him
great
also, by
films.
the way.
So, huh?
We're doing him from Jordan Peele. So
Yes, whatever
And-
that is.
Watch Significant Other. Telling you guys, watch Significant Other.
So, Weapons is the next big horror movie up next. What is after that movie? Joe,
lot,
what's
there's a
next?
lot.
oh shit, y'all suck.
Hold on,
P-Rap,
no.
P-Rap, no,
In
actually,
general,
I think
alright.
it's Lord of Illusions.
No, he.
No,
I'm
he's
talking
talking about he's on
in general, not our
Oh, in
schedule.
general. Oh God, I'm gonna say
There's
Frankenstein.
It's a
I'm gonna
lot.
say
Yeah,
Frankenstein,
Guillermo del
Frankenstein.
Toro's doing Frankenstein.
Frankenstein. Oh, by the way, people,
Chris
let me
Chris
just
Stuckman
correct
has
you-
a film coming out. JR's
Let
gonna
me-
be tackling that.
I just want to
Yeah.
correct people on Frankenstein because it seems like people don't understand the book. So Frankenstein is the doctor, okay? The one who creates Frankenstein's
There's still people thinking Frankenstein's the monster. That's why it's called
Yes.
Frankenstein's monster.
Yes. So
Hit
again,
the-
if you don't
that
know
like button.
your books, like
Thank
make
you,
sure you
P-Rock.
understand that Frankenstein is the scientist who created
Dr. Frankenstein.
Frankenstein's
Dr.
monster.
Frankenstein.
So Frankenstein is not the monster itself. It's actually Frankenstein's monster. Just because I'm like, everybody's been
Get 'em,
complaining
get 'em.
about the fucking trailer because I haven't seen the trailer, but people are like, oh, but blah blah blah.
No, I saw
the
Mia
fuck
Goth's
don't you
photo. That's all I
understand?
saw.
Oh,
She looks
I
amazing.
I know.
I
But
can't wait.
I just don't understand how people don't know that Frankenstein doesn't mean
You know what?
Frankenstein is not
It's-
the name of the fucking monster.
It's alright,
It's
Joe. It's
Frankenstein's monster.
It's a casual audience. I trust me.
You should not be casual. It's a fucking book.
No, but
It is a
casual.
book.
When I say casual, I mean they don't read horror books. They don't watch horror. They know Frankenstein because it's such a character, like engulfed in pop culture. He's drenched in pop culture now that everyone knows Frankenstein. So
I'm
they
sorry,
assume.
how is he called in Creature Commandos? Isn't
Huh?
he Frankenstein's monster in
Frankenstein-
Creature
yeah.
Commandos?
I know that, but we're not the casual audience, Joe. All right, take us home, man.
Anyway,
Hold on.
so
we're gonna comment. Hold
with
on.
that, make sure to join us next week.
It's because of marketing.
marketing.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
1000%, brother.
yeah.
1000%. Yeah.
So make sure to join us next week. Next week we're going back to theaters, and the fourth corner is going to join us. And shit, I totally meant to put down. Who's got the name of the director of
What?
um
Marketing labels him
The
as
weapons?
Frankenstein.
I don't know.
Frankenberry. Ooh,
Wep- yeah.
Frankenberry.
Yeah,
Let me
don't
say,
have
I love the
But
Universal
Jared,
Monster cereals. The General Mills.
I
General
love
Mills.
Frankenberry. Frankenberry was fucking that, and then those
But you know
came out
what?
like here. every
P-Rock has
once in
a
while.
point though. For the casual audience, yes, you do blame the marketing because he's always labeled as Frankenstein.
Yes,
That's a
and,
good
and,
shout.
and,
That's a good
it's that's the whole thing though, is that people are already. The movie hasn't even been released yet.
All right, you
and
want the
people-
director?
Yep, go ahead. Jared.
Zach Kreger, who did Barbarian and Companion.
Yeah, there you go.
Ooh,
There you go.
I can't wait. So yes, next
Another
week,
another good young director that is just on
with a
fire,
good
bro.
eye. He's got a great eye. We're
Romance
about to get-
comedy horror.
we're about
Wait,
to
which
get
one?
His,
Companion?
Oh yeah. I thought you
Yeah,
meant
that's
the
what I'm
wait. Zach Kreger's. What is that? What question is that in relation to? What
Who's the
what movie?
director of Weapons?
Weapons?
Weapons
Yes.
and
yeah,
Barbarian.
Yep.
so we're
I
getting
know
a
that.
third
Actually, I don't
one
know why I
from
didn't
him.
think about that.
So make sure to join us next week.
Yes, sir.
And on Sunday, Kick-Ass Horror is going to be dropping its next episode. And JR, who's the first final guy?
Ash. Go watch the
So
Evil
make
Dead
sure
episode.
make sure to join on Sunday.
Gee, I remember.
because we're Hey, listen, I already know that these two assholes have labeled Drunk Joe as Evil Dead Joe. He's not here right now. But yes, we're doing Ash for Kick-Ass Horror. We're going to talk about how this motherfucker kicked ass through the trilogy. And with that, Rick,
With that being said, hit the theater, support horror films, stay good, stay healthy, stay insane, but not in the brain.
did he freeze?
No, he's still moving.
Stay scared.
Dick.
Oh, all right, guys. Thank you. Have a good one, man. Appreciate everything.
Yes.
Stay safe out there.